adding 20, and of course the Minnesota Timberwolves outclassing the Los Angeles Clippers by 112. Talking about the Memphis Grizzlies by 112 to 106. That's the way that one ended. What for the Warriors and of course the Heat? The Warriors just didn't want to feel the heat this time around. It was all about them. 123-95. Steph Curry stepping up, scoring 30 points in 30 minutes. Kevin Durant added 24, and of course the Golden State Warriors having a really big third quarter, running away and pulling it away to beat the Heat 123-95. And if you check other big boys on the night who are really, giving up some big one. You talk about the Heat guy who was led by Goran Dragic. He broke a slump with 20 points on 7 for 10 shootings in his 3 previous games, but he failed to score double figures in this particular one, averaging just 6.7 on 30% shooting. So you would say Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Love stepping up, but then for the Heat, no one was there to actually step up the game for them. Maybe that's the reason they lost. Yeah,
I mean, nowadays you need an all-star crew. I mean, good victory for Golden State in that one, and a lot of these teams, predictable results. Some of the teams that have the firepower that will make you say, okay, they'll go all the way. Some of those teams are getting the job done. See Houston Rockets, the Golden State Warriors, and even though Clippers lost to Grizzlies, but some of them still really doing well.
Okay.
Well, San Antonio Spurs. The other time we talk about them, okay, they were doing well. I think they're still trying to the exits of the big man still costing them some pain. I mean, to replace the players of that era where they were winning NBA titles, getting to the conference finals, and winning, I think it's taking a toll because they got to the end of a cycle. Now they need to start one. I don't think they're too far off anyway, okay, but then they need to be more consistent.
Definitely, that's what they need to do. And if you check what happened in that one for the San Antonio Spurs, and of course for Oklahoma City Thunder, 87-90. Russell Westbrook, having his 7th triple-double of the season, yep, leading Oklahoma past San Antonio Spurs, depleted by injury and of course many absentees. And this is what you got, when you are really good on the night. Russell finished with 22 points in 39 minutes, 10 rebounds, of course, 10 assists. 10 assists, well, he also committed 7 turnovers. Steven Adams added 19 points and 10 for the Thunder.
Just picking up from where he left last season, yeah. I think the big question really is how far he can pull this team. We're going to see things like this. I mean, last year people said they should test it for alien DNA, and that was how good it was.
Song all the time.
But when it gets to the crunch, that's what I really want to see. When it's all said and done, when the 8 teams vie for the conference, to decide the conference winners, then, for the NBA title, that is when I'll really say. But on the road and in the regular season, I expect this often. You're
chanting another MVP already? No. Okay, it's just too soon. Now, who missed out the one between the Rockets and the Lakers? And James Harden, of course, anytime he gets to be on court, you're going to get a double figure for him. He had 36 points in that game. Of course, he handed out about 9 assists in it. And not only that, he also helped his team to win the assist consecutive game on the road with 118-95 over the Los Angeles Lakers. Houston has won all 6 games on the road and a streak of at least 15 points, setting like an NBA record. That's what they've been able to do there. Okay, from the NBA now move straight to the World Cup. We just can't stop talking about that one. Yeah. We're not going to talk about the Super Eagles later, but then talking about England, David Beckham, he actually, during one of his charity, events that he had and all that, but the focus really wasn't on that charity event. The focus definitely was on the fact that former England captain is here. He's here to actually, make its own thing. But then all the questions were definitely on the fact that England, the draw, if it was a good draw or a bad one?
Yeah, and he had things to say. I mean, see him with Sir Alex.
Sir Alex was also there.
And they were able to patch up their relationship. But that's not the issue for today. He talked about the group. In that group, they have Belgium, Panama, and Tunisia. And he answered questions about how far he thinks the new generation of the Three Lions can go. And like Cecilia said, this event was really overshadowed by you know, the World Cup draw. So let's listen to former England captain, Manchester United legend, David Beckham, what he has to say about the chances of the Three Lions and his impression about the draws.
We always say as England players, when you get to a World Cup, you know, whatever team you're drawn against, there's no easy games. And I know it's a cliche, but it's true. You know, when you come up against the teams that obviously we're up against, you know, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it doesn't change. You know, every game's a tough game. When you reach this stage, it's all important.
Well, when you get to that stage, it's always very difficult. He said it's a cliche, but then at the end of the day, you know that once you draw England, I mean, every team definitely wants to beat you. But then let's play a thought for why he was even there. I mean, he was there for a particular grassroots soccer tournament that actually uses sports as a platform to actually, you know, educate people around the world about health issues, including, you know, the dangers and preventative measures of AIDS. But then this is what you have in England in Group G, where you have Belgium, talked about it earlier, Panama, Tunisia, and of course, England. And if you look at this group, I mean, on paper, you would say easily England and Belgium will be the ones to live this group. But Panama, what they did to the USA, I mean, it tells you that, okay, some of these countries can just bring up surprises. But Tunisia also is another country you also need to watch out for. But then I know how hard to be with Tunisia on the African side. But then I think England and Belgium, if they don't qualify from this group, well, all the players need to be flagged.
You know, after the misadventure in '93 that they didn't qualify for the World Cup in '94, ever since I started watching football, I've always seen England progress beyond the group stage. So I know that's going to happen. But the problem is always after that group stage, and you know, diminishing returns setting in now in 2010, second round. Although Lampard will have one or two things to say about this goal that was ruled offside, but then getting out of the group has never been a problem. It's going you know, beyond that. All right, let's pause a little and go for a break. When we return, there's still so much to talk about on sports this morning. Join us again.